Hello, Renma here, and today I drew a picture. So today, last time I did not last time, but the first time, which I will link to, I did a self-portrait type thing, and I decided to do that again in a way, with a twist. I have been into... If you know Dungeons & Dragons, you probably know the Forgotten Realms. I've been reading that, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it right now. I've always actually been into these fantasy sort of things. I like fantasy things. Which is weird, because I've been reading Elf Diet. I can't remember the name. But I've been really into that, and I'm waiting for the next few chapters. I will not read the next chapter until at least 2 more come out, because I don't want to be kept waiting. Is that something I should admit? I don't know if I should admit that I like that. I'm done. Anyway, I like fantasy things, so I decided, because I've been reading the Forgotten Realms so much, I decided... Did I say decided enough yet? To do an elf version of myself, because I have a lot of OCs. I make my own characters a lot, but I don't really have any elves, so I decided to do that to myself, because why not? That sounds weird. I decided to go with a regular elf. I am in the Forgotten Realms, the one I'm reading, Legacy of the Drow. The main character is a drow, obviously, a dark elf. Which, they're technically bad guys, except for him, yeah. But I decided to go with a regular one, even though I think the drows are kinda cool. But, regular one. I had so much trouble with the head. I don't know why I had so much trouble with the head. So as I said, I really like fantasy stuff. And I've been drawing a lot of fantasy characters. I have my own fantasy world I am working on. I started it in 2017, and I'm just now making more people. I'm now making more people. So I originally was trying to do my own characters, trying to draw my own characters, but it wasn't working. So I went and did myself, because when in doubt, just draw yourself. Just do yourself. Yeah. Something I have so much trouble with, though, which is why I don't do fantasy stuff a lot, is I can't make fantasy clothing. I have so much trouble with it. Typically, I look up outfits for reference, which I did not do for this one, which is why I was impressed with myself, because I actually like it. But I didn't use any references for the outfit for this one, which I'll look at them, and then I'll pick my favorite pieces off of each one and put them together, kind of. But I didn't do that for this one. Which is why I am impressed. For once. Well, lately I have been impressing myself. The colors, which I'm not coloring yet, obviously, but the colors... if you hadn't noticed, I like to stick to a specific palette of red and blues. So I wasn't sure what colors to go with to use with this. But considering I did use red line art, I think blues probably would have contrasted a bit better than it all just being red and blending into one another. So I think the blue might have been a good idea. Which again, is that a spoiler for this video? I hope not. Oh well. Spoiled, you've been spoiled. Ugh, hands. I hate it. No, I like hands, but... I've been doing this pose a lot. The picture I was going to do last was with my elf OC. I have one elf OC, and he's an archer, of course. But he was in a similar pose. The only difference is he's not cute. Oh my gosh, I could have said that. But I gave him two left hands. That pose is very difficult for me for some reason. Just doing hands at a different angle is very difficult. But I obviously I've been playing games a lot lately. If you look at my recent videos, I've been playing games. Not very well, I might add, because recording is a pain and I hate it. At least with this, it's a bit easier to do because all I have to do is record myself drawing and then I make commentary and snide remarks to my past self. What was I saying? Yes, if you are interested, I might do... well, whether you're interested or not, I might go and draw some of my own characters sometime. I don't know how many people are actually interested in OCs. I myself am actually interested in other people's OCs and the worlds they make. Fantasy in particular, obviously. So I don't know if anyone would be interested in me drawing my own characters, but I have a bunny gunner, an archer elf, some kind of a magic priest dog animal person. I've been working on fantasy, so I'm making all these weird stuff up. But I have a lot of characters lately. Oh, my arachnid. Can't forget him. He's the only one with a name. It's very uncreative, too. But I have all these characters I want to draw. Because, again, into fantasy. Surprisingly, elf on a diet, elf on not on a diet, whatever it's called. It wasn't the one that inspired me, and you think it would have. Olga is best girl, by the way. But if you are interested, and even if you aren't, prepare yourself for some OC and fantasy world drawings in the future. Whenever, I don't know. I've been having trouble drawing. I've had some kind of art block all of a sudden, and nothing I've drawn has come out right. This is the first thing I've done, digitally, I might add, that has come out decently. Pretty decently. I actually really like this. Maybe I should make myself an elf for some of my future videos. Oh, I'm such a nerd for this stuff now. Such a nerd. I'm actually very impressed with how I did the eyes. I was afraid they would come out awful, and I think they came out pretty nice for having used nothing but the watercolor brush thing. Except for the eye highlights, I used the pen for that, of course. And the coloring here is where I had some trouble, just because I wasn't sure what color everything should be. And I just went with blue. I feel like I look medic-y. Actually, I don't think I look a thing like myself. I changed the hair a bit, trying to go foresty. But I feel like my elf Sona here looks very medic-y, and I can't play medics. I suck at it. I actually very much prefer playing the magic characters, as long as I don't have to heal anybody. And gunners. I really like gunners, because you don't have to get too close to kill something. I'm not gonna get in trouble for saying that, am I? I actually prefer keeping my distance in games. Like Mabinogi, for example. I like to keep my distance. I was actually a bard in that. I was also a gunner. But I like to keep my distance so I don't have to worry about getting killed too easily. Though when I play games like Nier Automata, I actually really like the close combat. It depends. If I'm using a game controller and I'm on like a PlayStation or something, I like melee weapons. Melee weapons, is that the word? I like getting close and personal in those games, but then if I'm on the computer in MMOs, I typically like to keep my distance. So I like to play gunners and the magic users a lot. Which is probably why I look so magic-y. Elves are typically magic-y. But of course, in my world, the perfect and proper world, they aren't really... Yeah. I actually knew not really much of anything about elves. I actually had to go and do some research. Like, not as much as I've done with other things, like the Wall Rider, Alp, I don't know how to say the long name, but the Alp, the German elf, the Puka, I did a lot of research on that. But with the elf, I didn't really go in depth. But if I'm understanding it correctly, originally the elf was short, very short, tiny things, and they were pretty much evil little buggers you didn't want to cross paths with. Though nowadays they're very tall, humanish, I guess. I don't know the average height for a typical fantasy elf nowadays. Well, in Elf One, I'm gonna keep referencing that. But in that, she's almost an exact humanish. She looks very human. I hope that didn't make a lot of noise. Wow, I think I just went off on a tangent. Oops, haven't said a thing about the drawing. Oh, but I think the hair came out really nice. I'm very proud of myself with the hair. I was afraid I was going to totally destroy it adding that yellow, but considering I did the shadows in blue, I thought it made sense to use the light parts with yellow. Because, you know, contradicting colors? Opposite colors. Opposite. I am actually very proud of this. And that's what I try to do with the clothes too, opposite colors. Using the yellow and blues together along with the reds to try and make at least a little bit of it stand out, because if it was all just blues and yellows, it would have blended a little too much for my liking. Plus, I'm always blue, white, and red. Blue, white, and red. So I figured adding some red in there would be nice since I added every other color. By that I mean the other two. So I think overall I actually really like this. I kinda wanted to add earrings too, but I've never worn earrings. I'm too scared. I don't like needles. The skin I actually was a bit worried about, but I think it came out okay for the most part. I was a bit worried that, you know, it wouldn't really blend for this one, but I think it actually came out pretty nice. And I figured with the rest of the clothes I used a lot of blues to shade them, so when I got to the lighter part of the top I wanted to use something that kind of stood out a bit more, so I used purple for that and then a little bit of blue. Overall, I'm actually really satisfied with this. I forgot the eyelashes. I normally like to blend colors into them and I didn't with this. But it still looks okay, so I guess I'll go with that. And there we go. There it is. My elf sewing thing or whatever. Yeah, me as an elf, whatever. I hope you liked this. I really liked it, actually. And I got to talk about fantasy nerd junk. Not that I'm really, like, super nerdy at it, I guess, I don't know. I like weird stuff. I like fantasy. The fantasy world's nice. It's scary, but it's really nice. Thank you for watching. I hope you like this. I hope I was enjoyable in this one. I feel like I am very hard to enjoy. What? Thank you for watching, and bye-bye. See you next time, and all that jazz.